Hello, everyone. I'm Nathaniel Bott here with Stephen Olschanski. We're the State News football writers here to preview MSU's third road night game of the year against Maryland, Saturday, 7:30 kickoff. A lot of questions heading into Northwestern. Some were answered, some were not. Going into this week, still unknown at quarterback. Who do you expect to kind of see there, and if they go with two quarterback system?
Tyler O'Connor had the better game last week, and it almost, if that relays over, maybe it sparked something in him, and he probably carried it over into practice, I would think. So I would think Tyler O'Connor gets a start, though I wouldn't rule out the Werke playing if they sputter again for another week in a row. So if they can't get it going, I would expect to see two quarterbacks, though I do think Tyler O'Connor will start.
When you look at Maryland defensively, kind of middle of the road in the Big Ten, 6th in total defense, 6th in passing defense, I think 7th in rushing defense. So, kind of average all year. They got some playmakers on the defensive end, will likely, and in the special teams, will likely one of the best punt returners in the country, lockdown corner. So R.J. Shelton, Daddy Corley, they're going to have their work cut out for them. On the defensive side of the ball, secondary changes. Josh Butler and Deontay Copeland now listed as an or on one side. On the other, Justin Lane, the freshman converted from wide receiver, he's just the lone starting corner. So with the secondary getting younger, how much does Monte Nicholson and Demetrius Cox kind of come into play for leadership?
Oh, I think very much so. They've experienced it, and I talked to Kari Willis too. He'll probably be. I would imagine he would see some time as well as he's gotten into those reps and talking to the older guys about the younger guys, and a lot of the older guys have iterated that they've wanted to be leaders for these young guys, but their leadership's going to be really needed now, especially for those young guys. You look at Demetrius Cox and Deontay Copeland, they've both been a part of winning teams, and so they know how to win, and it's going to be instilling that kind of stuff in a down year, how to win, where to find those inches in a bad year. That's the kind of leadership they'll have to rely on. Sure.
When you look at kind of in a bad year, Monte Nicholson quietly having a career year. He leads the team in tackles, and 17 against BYU, 13 against Northwestern, 3 games of over 10 tackles, so he's been kind of working. I talked to him. He said he improved tackling a lot and knowledge of the game, watching film. He's apparently turned into kind of a film rat. He's been watching the opponents, what they do, what they run. So I think him leading those kind of younger guys, and I think Maryland with the 13th best pass offense in the Big Ten, very bottom tier in that category. I think it's good that they're kind of getting some younger guys. This is a game to kind of do it. On the defensive line, Malik McDowell, kind of struggled a little bit inside. Thought he was getting held a lot and couldn't really find a breakthrough. And then they move him out to D-end. What did you see from him against Northwestern? I know he had 11 tackles, finally got to the quarterback once. They keep him out at D-end now. What do you expect from him?
I expect him to continue what he's doing. I think when you need to change something and then you throw a guy out there, I think it always does something well for your psyche. It's like changing up a batting stance or changing up how you grip a bat in baseball. And so when you change things up like that, it sparks something in those guys, and they have to almost, it's not learning something new as much as it is developing something new. So put him on a defensive end like that. I think he's able to use his skill more. I think he's able to use his explosiveness a little bit easier, and he has more of a chance to, I think, lead the D-line from the defensive end tackles. He can showcase what he can do, and if he's playing really well, everybody else is going to pick up there after, going to have to match him. So if he's comfortable in doing his thing from a role that he's comfortable in, he's going to be much better, and I think it translates throughout the line.
Yeah, I think that front seven, especially with the return of Riley Bull, is going to be key. When you look at Maryland, they're in the Big Ten rushing offense, 16th nationally in rushing offense, so they tend to go kind of a ground and pound type style. I think that front seven, they're going to have to work on their tackling for sure. And on the flip side of the ball, MSU's rushing attack kind of been a little non-existent the last couple games. L.J. Scott, only 3 carries for 25 yards. Antonio touched on it, that he needs to work on his pass protection. That's why he wasn't in the game kind of late against Northwestern when it turned into a passing style or a passing game. So what do you expect from the MSU running game? Do you expect Scott to kind of get a little bounce back? Or
we've seen we've had a 6-game kind of showcase at almost a litmus test for the running game, and it really hasn't gone anywhere. And they had chances to get it going, and it really hasn't done much other outside of Notre Dame was about it. And you look at that Notre Dame game, and you don't see it as a big win anymore because of how bad Notre Dame's been. So it almost looks like that kind of a game wasn't something that you would take and go, hey, let's do what we did at Notre Dame. The running game now, I think it just comes with how well it's going to start with the offensive line. And if they can't get it going, then the running game's not going to be very good. So it's not the running backs in a sense; it's more the offensive line.
With that, Dantonio and the Spartans will look to end a 4-game skid. Dantonio's never lost 4 in a row, so it's a first for him, kind of uncharted territory. They take on Maryland on the road. Once again, 7:30 on Saturdays, the kickoff there. Make sure you stay with the State News on Twitter at @thesnooze_sports and stay with thestatenews.com for coverage during and after the game.